Welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're doing this. This is an official FFA jacket. Now, you've probably seen these jackets around if you live in the Midwest. Sometimes you're even on the different coasts, more so the West Coast than probably the East Coast. But this is called an FFA jacket. It's the official jacket. Every member of FFA gets one. Now, if you're wondering what FFA is, it's Future Farmers of America. And usually it's always the farm kids who live, whatever school was going on, you could join the FFA. I joined the FFA. This is my actual personal jacket that I got back in the mid 80s. I guess when I was a sophomore, maybe I got this. I am going to show you a picture. That's me in my jacket. Here's the yearbook. And you can see that's the group of us. But that's the picture, I think probably the day I got it. This particular jacket, if you don't know the history of it, I'm going to go into the history of what an FFA jacket is. If you're interested in getting one or finding one, or if you found one and you're wondering what this is, I'll give you a kind of history of the jacket. This jacket's a little special for two reasons. One, it's mine, and I've had this jacket since, and the other one is right there, Fredericktown, Ohio. And I'll explain to you why that's important with the FFA jacket. So the history of the jacket started when the advisor for Fredericktown, Ohio, Gus Lintner, wanted a jacket, basically a uniform for the kids taking the classes. So he was walking down the street in Fredericktown and saw this blue corduroy jacket in a window of a hardware store down there. And he contacted the supplier of which was Universal Uniform Companies, and they were able to stitch the chapter's name on the back with the gold thread, and that's how it all started. So that's why the Fredericktown jacket is kind of special, because it's basically the home model of the FFA jacket that has stood now for almost 90 years. So it's a pretty cool thing. And if you're new to what I'm doing here, I kind of do reviews of vintage things, but I'm also into vintage sewing, particularly the industrial sewing machines, but I also kind of do it's kind of vintage guy stuff. And I thought maybe this jacket would be something you might be interested in kind of learning about. So please subscribe. We just hit 500 and I'm kind of excited about that. And I thank you for everybody that subscribed. And if you have any questions or comments after this video, please put them down, because again, I'm no expert on any of this stuff. I just know a little bit to get in trouble. So again, this is my jacket. It's got my name right there. They're blue corduroy. You can see the hand warmers here. They have a waist cinch here. And then on the collar, it's just a straight up button, or at least on this generation of FFA jackets. I don't know if the new ones are different. I know the older ones are a little different, and I'll get some video or some pictures at least of the old ones, and I can show you that sort of thing. This one just has a straight up brass YYK. I assume the earlier ones would probably always have a talon. You have the FFA patch. And then this one actually is a national FFA supply, so they no longer get them from the Universal Uniform. They get it from an actual FFA supplier, makes these size 42. So this is, and this one's 85 cotton, 15 poly for the corduroy. And then the important part is on the back, because that tells you everything about your FFA jacket. It tells you where it's from and what town it's from. So again, this is from Fredericktown, and this is the home of the FFA jacket. So there's very few Fredericktown. If you ever find a Fredericktown jacket, you should get it, because that is the home of the FFA jacket. And so you can see this is actually chain stitched on. And you can see it's rough, it's hand done. I mean, it's not machine done, because otherwise those O's would be perfect and this would all be perfect. This is hand done. And then you have your patch. Obviously this isn't hand done, this is just sewn on. but you have your plow and your owl, and then your eagle. And that's the FFA jacket. It's kind of cool. It's a jacket you don't see a lot, unless you live in a farm town, and then you'll probably see them around, but the only way to get it is to be part of the FFA. You can't go to the store and just buy one of these. So if you see one at a thrift store or an estate sale, pick it up because they're unusual and there's not a lot of them out there. I mean, there's probably a lot of them out there, but it's not like finding a M65 or just an everyday normal jacket that looks like that. You can see the, we'll open it up. You can actually see the stitching here where it's chained on with the embroidery machine. It's actually done. It's not a machine. It's not automated. It's hand done. And then your Ohio. So again, if you find one, and you may not find them that easy because it's kind of like a jacket that it's like a varsity jacket, or if you're in a club or something like that. Most people don't get rid of their jackets unless they're no longer around. It's just because it's a piece of your history, you know, especially from high school. You want to keep it. It's like special. It's yours, and you can find them. Now, sometimes they'll actually say the person's name and then if they were actually in office, because like any club, any group, there's like the president, the vice president, the treasurer, the secretary, and that would be underneath it. And sometimes it'd even be dated, because my dad still has his jacket. I forget what he was. He was actually a vice president or treasury, maybe? I can't remember. His was is a different cut because his is from the 60s and mine's from the 80s. But his has that, and I think it has the date 63 on it or something like that. I'll have to ask him about that, if I can get a picture of that maybe, I don't know. Anyway, this is the FFA jacket. It's always blue corduroy. It always has the gold letters on it. It's a sharp looking jacket, still casual, and it's a jacket that people go, oh, that's FFA. It's like everybody kind of knows it if you know it. And now after watching this, you know it also. So I'm gonna have more stuff coming up. I thought maybe this might be a fun little one that just pulled it off of the closet rack basically to show you, and see if you like it, and keep watching because I'm gonna have other stuff coming up that so maybe some stuff you don't know, some stuff you do know, and some stuff you just know you have to have. I'll see you on the next one.